Sachsenring, now his brother, so the Espargaro brothers, battered and bruised. Off we go then for the warm-up lap. It's going to be 21 laps. In real money, that's 70.6 miles. And as soon as the sun is unveiled to the tarmac, it's gone up 3 degrees since I last looked at it.
Yeah, no, what I was saying to you, wasn't I, Keith? I said, look, I've been stood on the grid. There is a breeze. I can see the dark clouds. The problem was Assen where they threw him on the track, wasn't it? That was
the problem isn't during the race. It's a problem when you're trying to finish a race. You can't see at Assen across that chicane. So that is a problem. But the new directive is if you can, just Valentino Rossi. Maverick Vinales, will he try a soft rear tyre? If he is, it's only for the front end of the race because it won't be there by the end, you would think. There is Davide Tozzi on the left-hand side.
He didn't want to talk on the grid, you could tell. When Davide...
Little second-place position there, it would seem, at the moment. Cal Crutchlow, though, in fourth on the 35 machine. Didn't quite get what I was expecting there. The power down to turn 1 as Lorenzo looks at the inside of the 93 mark.
No,
down at turn 3.
Yeah, turn 3, breaking into turn 3. It's easily done on the first lap. Because what you're doing, you're getting the slipstream of the whole pack. So if you're in the middle of it, it really sucks you in.
He did have a soft rear tyre in, you know. Vinales, Rossi down.
Marquez through there.
So quick. On that transition from one side to the other, Marquez is magnificent.
And we've seen that all weekend, that corner speed as well in the middle of the corners.
Yeah, he just squirts it, didn't he, in the middle there. He must have gone on sharp on the brakes there. Flags were waving, yellow flags,
yeah,
that's why.
point.
So he had to give it back up again. Thank you very much. I had to suddenly work out why. It was both Colin Edwards and JT waving at me from the other side. I knew it wasn't friendship. It's all down to whether Dovizioso, and I have to say with his pace during qualifying, during free practice, Dovizioso looked particularly good. But Davide Tozzi, team boss at Ducati, did say, been able to verify that, yeah, there's a lot of unhappiness back in the garage in Yamaha.
Well, I think the saying is it doesn't rain, it pours for Maverick Vinales. He's certainly on the downward spiral.
Makes me think he's just not quite got the confidence on the front end to make it actually stick just yet.
No, what he's talked about all weekend is having a really good race setup for later on, the second half of the race, and I think that might be
in the middle of a set of S's. You flip-flop from side to side with the throttle open, and Zarco definitely plays that game, doesn't he, still? As Crutchlow comes back at him and nerfs the number 5 out the way this time. But might have run it a bit wide, though, Cal.
But have you seen what... Yeah. Well, we talked about it yesterday, Keith. This is what I thought could happen. What happened at Assen? Yeah. Nobody pulled the pin. No one wants to pull the pin. No one wants to risk because they know it's the last 5 laps that count. So at this point,
then breaks away up the hill.
You can see how gentle they're riding, Keith.
It's not spinning the rear end. It's not sliding out sideways. No. Not laying much of a dark line either. You're right. And that's where the Ducati normally would really... The only man, 56.9, was Danilo Petrucci. Petrucci on the number 9 bike has put in the fastest lap of the race so far.
And he did that bridge in the gap, Keith, what I was talking about with Crutchlow. Crutchlow's now going to have to do a fast lap just to get on the back of the group.
Once you're on an aero this weekend, if you've not been with us here on BT Sport, Danny Aldridge, technical director, has been around assessing the aero options that people are trying to bring to their bikes. And you can see brand new aero on the...
So where's Tito? Tito's in 11th place. Just set the fastest lap of the race.
They're all cruising.
They're all cruising. It's going to be a great race, this
There it is, Rabat.
Yeah.
Let's just put the fastest lap of the race up. That just underlines everything, doesn't it, really? Getting to pull the pin sometime in. I wonder what time in the race we're going to see that. It is, of course, a 21-lap race this year, compared with 22 laps last year. Only 70.6 miles of this 3.3 miles by.
Yep, and the procession continues.
It really does.
Another lap ticked off. So this is lap 6 they're finishing. And they're about to start 20 laps. Oh, no, sorry. 15 laps to go.
Follow him on Twitter because he just lets everybody know. He says it how it is.
He's entertaining.
He is entertaining.
Instagram, Twitter, he's definitely entertaining.
Horrendous for PR men, though, of course, because he says stuff that probably they would try and quash at some stage.
Well,
that was a great camera. If you've got the 360 on Valentino Rossi, if you've got the BT Sport app, tune into the 360-degree camera.
Tight that is.
Yeah, Cal Crutchlow was thinking better of getting squashed in between those two, wasn't he? So, let's see if he's got that kind of fight.
Well, I think he has. I think...
Oh, you're going to find out in a minute. There it is. So, Lorenzo then pops it in. Heat out your tyres.
I'll tell you what, right, to put it into perspective, if you think we're exaggerating, the man who's just set his fastest lap in 17th place is Tom Luthi, and he's just done the same lap time as Dobby, basically.
Like that, as in comes Marc Marquez. Rossi can be relied on. Has he gone too early? Has he gone just right?
That Ducati's slow.
As it pass away. Mind you, our camera does make it look a bit that way as well. Cling that Valentino may have something special for us.
Here we go, Marquez.
He likes this racetrack. There goes Marquez up into 3rd place then. So easily squirts underneath underneath Lorenzo, and Crutchlow's going to try and follow that through as well. Tactics all over this Motogp race here in the Czech Republic, side to side. We're looking back at Cal Crutchlow on the Flexbox sponsored LCR Honda.
I would love to see Cal get another win.
Well, here was the
because of his extra weight, he always has to, he suffers. His tyres wear out more.
It's so fine, the line now, isn't it? From success to disaster, and using up the
accelerate away, and that's what makes it so difficult. Look how he gapped Marquez then.
And it's good on the brakes.
For Marquez, exactly, stable on the brakes. For Marquez to pass him, you have to be over the limit, really.
Absolutely. We talked about it with Miguel Oliveira earlier on in the day with the Moto2s. Here we go then. That is Dovizioso through on Valentino Rossi. Now, has Valentino Rossi got anything, or is it going to be Dovizioso?
You know, we see
that's probably why I don't get it.
Yeah, you look confused, King. What's going on?
You hit the nail on the head there. Thank you very much.
But who's been the smartest? Who's played it right?
But
the limit.
No, not yet. Dobby from Marquez, from Rossi, from Crutchlow, Lorenzo, Petrucci, Zarco still there in 7th. Iannone on the Suzuki in 8th place. Rins is
Honda, Yamaha, Honda, Ducati. This championship is fantastic.
It is.
Suzuki's slightly disappointing because the pace is relatively slower.
Yeah,
I thought they'd have been 10th place, just set his fastest lap time of the race. Pretty much the same lap time as the leaders. In fact, faster than Valentino Rossi in 3rd.
Yeah, 57.6. Rossi was 57.8 that last time around. What's that? On the flip-flop. That is so Valentino Rossi, though, isn't it?
On Valentino Rossi, yeah.
That is so Valentino. Yeah, that's what the kind of thing you'd expect to see from Valentino. So, Crutchlow has done him. And 3rd place, closing them down at the front. Meanwhile, we look at your race leader, Andrea Dovizioso, from Marc Marquez in 2nd place. Still Cal Crutchlow of Great Britain in 3rd place on the LCR Flexbox Honda. Then it's
to pass Dobby on the brakes, you have to be on the limit.
We're going to find out where that is in a minute, because they seem to be just dropping them as we get to 8 laps to go over the line.
Yeah, that's Dobby's.
They're bringing a European test team as well next year.
It's hard to believe they've not had a European test team.
Absolutely.
If you think about it.
Yeah, but they've been behind the game when it comes to some things, Yamaha, haven't they? They've really relied on the fact the M1 was such a good bike. So, a bit of a lunge, but neat and tidy nonetheless.
8 laps to go, 7.5 laps to go.
Yeah, we've got the fight still to come yet.
You're going to put your money on now?
Well, with the pace going like this, Marquez.
Right.
Just because it's fell into his favour, it's really a question of what Dovizioso has got, or Crutchlow. Crutchlow could be a good bet.
I'm going for quick
pace, but by comparison,
I'd like to see you do a 50.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm not. I'm not going there. Don't chuck me under that bus. But
you were saying off air.
By their standards,
you were saying
pretty much one of the top 3. But you never know with Valentino Rossi. Jorge Lorenzo seems happy at this pace. Yeah, he's got in there a bit hot.
Yeah, he definitely did. He had a few goals at it.
2 Suzukis, which they, and I think we can say, is a bit disappointing back down there.
Yeah.
Iannone and Rins, 8th and 9th.
Well, and Bautista's behind them. He's covering race. Good shot, that. We've seen some great shots going into that corner, into turn 3 over the weekend.
There, they got the Honda faster than the Ducati. Are in Zarco's bike. Wasn't recommended by anybody that I came across, but Zarco has used the softer tyre the most of the time, but it's usually paid.
His fastest lap of the race.
It's going to be a hell of a last couple of laps if this lot really do pull the pin at the closing stages of it. Out, of course, Tito Rabat, Scott Redding, Bradley Smith, Maverick Vinales, and Stefan Browning.
The fastest laps of the race. Now you know, as a rider, you think to yourself, I've definitely got a nut tyre, I can now go.
4 laps to go then. Here it is. It's a sprint to the end. Who is going to be
his time up? But he loses on these drags a little bit, Keith, and he's not quite close enough then to make an overtaking manoeuvre. These straights, they're not long, they're like medium length straights, but it just gives
it's very threading the eye of a needle, but if anybody can, Lorenzo can. Look at that, takes 2 in 1 go. Jorge Lorenzo shows his class. He's going to run out a little wide and let his teammate through perhaps, but that's not a problem. They're on the front straight then. 3 lap gain. I love this kind of racing. It really is the type, and with 2 of the best exponents in that, Dovizioso and Lorenzo. I know we've got the man Marquez all over them, but he's the opportunist, isn't he? The others are, and you did the feature on that tank, how they've changed it again.
Exactly.
It's amazing how $20 has fixed a multi-million-pound bike, really, isn't it?
I bet they wish they'd found that earlier.
I bet they wish they'd listened to him earlier.
Yeah, well, that was his number 1.
Tough old braking manoeuvre from Marquez. Marquez is definitely going to have a little go at Jorge Lorenzo, but it's still Dovizioso out front. There's parts of this track where Lorenzo looks faster than them all. Marquez just doesn't seem to quite have the confidence to make the pass. Maybe he's still waiting. Maybe he just wants to be close to Dobby at the end. It's a lap and a bit to go. Here, Dovizioso again. Expect him to do the business. Wasn't able to. Last lap time then. Dovizioso has got the biggest lead he's had. 0.280 of a second. Dovizioso has got this done if he doesn't make a mistake. Lorenzo's in hot to turn 1. We're certainly seeing that he did there. Lorenzo has grabbed that bag. He wants it, doesn't he? 25 points for Dovizioso. And if Lorenzo and Marquez keep fighting like this, Dovizioso's going to have it all his own way. Look at the way the bikes are squirming now. You're absolutely right. So we're working our way back uphill now. Dovizioso has the advantage. I think Ducati might be worried. It's a bit too much of a lead that Dobby has there for Lorenzo to do anything about it. It's going to be surely Dovizioso that takes Franco Morbi.